now joined by the promoter, one of the craziest men in mixed martial arts, Mr. Mark Pavelich. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence.
Well, I'm super excited to be here today with you guys. You know that, right? I'm huge fans of yours. So,
thank you.
You know, I'm stoked.
We got to talk about what's going down for MFC 38. Great main event. When you're putting together cards, what's the genesis? Talk us through how you put your cards together.
You know, I was saying a long time ago, before anybody else was saying about, I want fighters to finish. I don't want people to leave it to the ref. I've always been a big advocator. I want a full fighter. I don't want, jiu-jitsu based. I don't want wrestling based, and I don't want stand-up based. I want a combination of all. I don't want some guy that's just great at standing up and he's okay on the ground. I don't want a guy that's just, great on the ground but not that great standing up. It's a combination of the three.
Just changing gears here for a second, what did you think of the Toronto Maple Leafs fight performance the other day? I know you're not a fan, but you watched the game.
Well, you know what's different? There is a difference in Toronto now, and being a person that's a huge Detroit Red Wing fan, but at the same time I'm a fan.
You can say that in Edmonton?
Yes, I can. I'm a pseudo Edmonton fan as well, right? On the side note, because some of the guys I know play for the team that support the Maximum Fighting Championship. But at the same time Toronto showed a lot of character. They really did. That's just my opinion in it. I look at them differently now. I have much more respect for them, but I really saw a grit in them where they're going to be very dangerous this year.
Because you like guys with balls.
Well, no, I like people that show character. I think it's a character issue, and I think they've showed that just in this even in the preseason. I think they're going to be trouble this year.
I want to talk about the main event. Sam Alvey taking on Jason South, undefeated. What do you like about this fight?
Well, the main event has been now, we had the contest. We had a contest for the main event, and Burchak and Tito Jones are now the main event. I mean, the voting poll was incredible. Nice. Tens of thousands of people voted on Twitter and Facebook, and the fans, they wanted Burchak and Tito Jones as the main event, the smaller guys. Yeah. And I know Mr. Ram is going to be upset about that as a heavyweight, but I let the fans decide. And South and Alvey are going to be the co-main event, and along with Rama and Hamilton, they're going to be the other one.
And you got Rama as an undefeated, really young heavyweight. Do you believe this guy's the real thing?
Well, he's ranked, 35th in the world right now after 6 fights. Hand speed wise, what I was shocked about when I watched him is his hand speed at that size. I think still as a young kid, he still hasn't reached his potential with conditioning. And I just seen this fight camp, a lot of the tapes that I've seen on him, I was amazed at his conditioning. I think it's a whole nother level now.
Novaes versus Southern rematch. Yeah. Why are we seeing the rematch?
And I feel sorry for them because there's been so many title fights. There's 3 title fights on the show. And then Novaes and Southern, I mean, just arguably Southern's right now one of the best 155ers in Canada. There's no question about that. And Novaes is a world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. And I'm telling you, the last fight was incredible. And I think this one is going to match the same way.
You still having fun doing this? You still enjoy? When you come into the studio, you're so comfortable in here, putting your own mic on, joking around with the crew.
But it's when you're passionate about something. I'm blessed. I use that term. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed because I've been doing what I've loved doing for 14 years. And you guys know in the mixed martial art business, not too many people have been around doing this for 14 years.
How come you've been able to do it?
I love it. It's beyond love. It's a comfortable obsession. That's the term I guess I can use. It's not a dangerous obsession. It's a comfortable obsession.
Relate to that.
Are you in cruise control at this point, or are there still challenges that arise every day for you?
No, I sleep about 4 hours a day, and I guess if I was in cruise control, I'd sleep like normal people, 8 hours a day. I just have a constant fear of losing it all the time. I have a constant fear of not being the best show in Canada. I have a constant fear of people just going, well, he's the best show in Canada, but where is he on the grand scheme of things? I wake up to that one every day, pretty much. I wake up in the morning where people are like, well, why does he go to the U.S.? And I tell people all the time, that's an economy thing. That's not so much a mixed martial art thing. I mean, the Maximum Fighting Championship tickets are very expensive. And in the States, you couldn't charge that type of money. So that's always been my big, kind of hesitation of going to the United States. American people ask us every day. I receive hundreds of emails a week about that. And I try to explain to them it's not really a geographic thing. It's more of a financial thing.
You're still enjoying this. But we talked to some fighters, right? And Chris Weidman was in the other day, and he says he just lives for competition. That's what motivates him to compete constantly every day. Sure. Is that why you relate to these guys? Are you like that?
I think mine's much different. I think if I had the athleticism if I had the athleticism of John Jones, I would be UFC champ today. with my mentality. I just don't have that athleticism. My mentality's always been strong. Even when I trained fighters in the UFC like Jason McDonald, Victor Valimaki, all those guys, I trained them before and managed them prior to the MFC taking off. And that was very important for people to understand. They didn't come to me because I can show them how to do better jiu-jitsu. They didn't come to me because I could they came to me because of my mental fortitude, right? I'll work harder than the next guy. All the shows could get together in Canada, which they try to do. They can all get together and try to overtake the MFC. It's impossible. You have to understand, the only thing that's ever going to stop the MFC is us. Nobody's going to stop us. It's just going to be us.
I mean, when you look at the fact that Edmonton, Alberta is a hotbed for mixed martial arts, and you see all these other promoters try to come into your territory, something that you've built over the last decade or so, is that something that says, you know what, they're not going to be able to get up earlier than
I
you
do.
get up?
I know they won't, though, John. I see it every day. And the difference is this, too. My territory is no longer Edmonton, Alberta. My territory is Canada, right? I've always been a proud Canadian. I honestly believe I could be the second biggest MMA show in the world from being from Canada. I really believe that. Most people believe we're third or fourth in the world now. And it's like, we did our show in Ontario, and I think that's very important. I think Ontario needs to be done properly. And I honestly believe that our family is the only one that could do it properly. I've seen other people come, and I just kind of think they fell a little bit short. They just haven't gone all the way through with it. And I think our family's been the one family that could take our formula. We did at Caesars Windsor, and it was very, very successful. I think it's time, with our new partnerships and stuff like that in Ontario, that we return.
What can fans expect from this card, MFC 38?
The same thing you expect from all our shows, right? I expect it to be the speed of the fights. I expect to be, you're going to see a heavyweight fight that's going to look like a 145-pound fight. You're going to see the 135-pound title look like 100-pound guy. I mean, the speed of the Maximum Fighting Championship is what the big difference is now.